Alright guys, welcome to the channel. So today I'm working on a plumbing project in all of my bathrooms. I'm doing this because I recently had a leak from a faucet from the supply lines connector under the sink in one of my bathrooms. I had it happen twice in the last 7 years. These have leaked, and it's because the builder, let me show you the builder. The builder probably used some cheaper connections. Here I am under the sink. So here's my two supply lines coming up from under the floor here, and there's the builder used these push-on PEX connectors. They're super easy to install, quick, cheap. I had one of these fail in this bathroom, and what happened was the water was leaking from this. You can see this is just a crimped-on connection right here to the water supply. This is all one piece. The connection to the sink all the way down to here. So this leaked. It leaked down here. Water got here. It went down and past where the pipe goes. It started leaking into my basement, ruined the drywall down there. So I'm replacing all of these in under all my sinks because I think these are just a really cheap solution to having a supply line. So I'm going to cut these off, and I'm going to show you exactly how I'm replacing these and kind of give you a warning. If you have these kind of cheap push-on connectors, you might want to look at replacing them. It's pretty cheap and easy to do, and it's going to save you a headache of having floods under the cabinet here. Parts and the tools I'm going to need. So I need 2 of these. So for every bathroom I need 2 of these. This has a 20-inch braided hose. It's got the 1/2-inch connection here to hook into the faucet. So underneath the faucet is a 1/2-inch connection there. On the other end of this is the 3/8 threaded connector right here that hooks onto my little turn-off valve. The turn-off valve I'm using, just a 1/4 turn, but what it does is it just slips into the pipe, the PEX pipe, and then I'm just going to crimp it on with my crimping tool. So all I need is a kind of a cutoff tool to cut the old connector off, a crimping tool, the crimp ring, and this turn-off valve. And this is a more sturdy. This is a metal version. This is less susceptible to leaking than those cheap plastic ones that I have on there now. So I've already got this screwed on to the end of the supply line. I just used Teflon tape on the threads, tightened it up with my 2 wrenches, so that's nice and tight. So now what I'm doing, I want to turn off the water, the supply water of the house, cut off those old connectors with my cutoff tool, and we'll start getting these installed. All right, with my supply water off, I have the water off to the whole house so that way, because even though these are the push connectors, this turns the water. So how that works is I push it down, water's on, pull it up to turn the water off on this. Even though the water's off there, the water's still going to be pressurized in the pipe here, so you want to turn the water off to the house. I'm going to cut these off. I have enough length here. I probably have at least 1 foot of PEX pipe that I can use. If you didn't have that much pipe to cut off, you could somehow get these off. You just have to release the teeth inside these to push these off. It's easier just to cut these off though, if you have the slack in the pipe. So I'm just going to get my cutter here and then just snip this off. Okay, so that there's only probably less than an inch of pipe that I'm giving up with this. Okay, the next step, I just want to get my PEX ring and just put my PEX ring over the pipe. All right, I got my PEX ring. I want to push that down a little bit, and then I want to take my new shutoff valve. You can see how it's kind of barbed. Those barbs are going to stick into the PEX pipe. I just push this in like that. Now when I crimp it, I want to make sure that my shutoff valve is facing the outside of the cabinet. That way it's easier to turn on or off. I'm going to turn it off right now so that way I can get access to crimping it. And so now I'm just going to move you see how I move my crimp ring right up almost to the edge. So you want to crimp it right about there. So not all the way to the top, but leave just a little bit of space. And I want to get my crimping tool and I want to crimp that on there. Now you can see this crimping tool has 2 different sizes, so you can do the 3/4 size PEX rings and the 1/2-inch. This one's the 1/2-inch ring, so I'm going to be using this upper opening right here. So I'm going to get this part here clamped around here, squeeze the handles on this, and it will crimp that ring onto the barbs of this shutoff valve, and it'll be nice and secure and tight. All right, so I got that crimped on there. The crimping tool comes with a guide. You can put the guide over this to make sure that it's been crimped far enough down. It's called the go, no go. So what we'll do is we'll just use that guide just to make sure that it's crimped enough, but it's super tight now. So now all I have to do to finish this side is I just need to screw this end into the faucet up to the top of the sink here, but I need to unscrew the old one. All right, this is removing the old one. This was just hand tight on there. All right, watch for the water dripping down. Have a towel available to wipe up any water that spills, and just screw it right onto the end of the faucet. All right, here I'm using the go no go gauge just to make sure that the crimp was a good crimp on this, and it looks like it's right on the line. There's a line right here across the middle that's gauge, so everything looks good on that. Now what I'm doing is I just got the supply line hand tight up there. I'm going to get my adjustable wrench on that, tighten it up. All right, I ended up using an adjustable wrench like this. This is an 8-inch adjustable wrench, and I was able to just kind of fit it on this other one. And because this wrench has a shorter handle, it's easier to get up under the sink because there's not a lot of room. So once you get that tight, you can see inside here there's a rubber grommet that's going to help seal the water. So you don't need to have any Teflon tape on the faucet side. You can just tighten this up, and that rubber grommet inside of there will create a watertight seal. So the water's turned back on. I want to make sure there's no leaking at the PEX pipe here, and the supply line, I want to make sure everything's good. So I'm going to turn the valve on, make sure there's no leaks, and then I can put everything back. So here are the old ones. You can see how it's all one piece. The supply line doesn't come off. You can't replace the supply line. This just pushes on. The connectors there's kind of some teeth that are biting into the PEX. I really don't have a lot of confidence in these since I've had 2 of them leak and cause damage in my basement. So I've got this bathroom all complete. So I'm ready to do this on all my other bathrooms. I'll leave a link to all the parts and tools I used in this video, guys. Hopefully you found this helpful or useful. Be sure to hit that thumbs up. Please subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.